Peace. Today is Monday the 9th, which makes today's math born. Born is to be complete. Born is to bring things into existence. Use your mind to make things born. Peace. All right. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I am Lord Jamar.
And I'm Digga.
And right about now with us, we got my man, guest host, who so many of y'all were requesting that we get up here. Well, goddamn it.
Myself included.
Got him in this
Really?
motherfucker right now. Everybody, welcome to the Yanadameen Godcast. My man, comedian Godfrey in the motherfucking house.
Finally made it in his
Or as I like to call him, the God. Free.
There we go.
That's
What's
the God
up,
free.
man?
Peace,
Godfrey
God.
on the Godcast.
Peace, God.
Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
How you be, guy?
I feel good.
You
Finally.
feeling good, God?
I finally made it to this son of a bitch.
This is
You know
what the
I mean?
fuck I'm talking
So
about.
happy
over
to
here.
have you here.
I appreciate that. I've been talking. This guy's been fucking telling me. Come on. What are you?
Come on,
what,
I'm
what am I,
beating
an
him over the
asshole?
head. I'm
you
like,
gonna make
yo.
me look like an asshole? Come on. Why don't you come and bless me on my show? I said, I don't have time. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Where is it?
The people
Jersey.
love you.
Fucking Jersey. I'm like, come on. It's not in Manhattan. He goes, no, but I need you to do it. Everybody's requested. And then I saw like all this stuff on my Instagram. They said, you need to be on the Godcast. I said, I gotta fucking do this.
Yay. Thank you, people.
I gotta
Okay.
fucking do
Peer
this.
pressure
And
works.
I'm finally here. But I was gonna do it regardless.
That's right.
But I'm finally in this bitch because me and him have been, man, rocking the Vlad, son. Like,
Hey, people love it.
I mean,
People love it. They love the chemistry.
the chemistry's good. We did an experimental back and forth. We just have a stack of subjects. We're just like, all right, you start, and we both,
Which is
burning
kind
up
of
in
like
the
what
room.
we're going to do
We're
today.
actually going to do something similar
right.
to that today.
All right.
Since I love you guys' chemistry so much, I'm just going to sit back and be like a neutral mediator.
Well, now,
Oh,
first
you
of
gotta
all,
talk sometime.
before we get into
Yeah.
all of that,
Okay.
okay, I don't want to take for granted. I mean, you know, so many people know who Godfrey is, but I'd like you to briefly, go over your history a little bit. Who is
Absolutely.
Godfrey?
Okay.
Where is he from? When did he first come on the scene? Like,
How did he get so damn funny?
how did he get so damn funny?
Okay, here's the one thing about funny. I've always been funny, even since I was a kid. You know, when you're growing up, everybody's funny in their own way. You know what I mean?
Funny how? I make
Funny,
you
I
laugh?
make you laugh like a clown. I'm here to amuse you. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, man. You know, I grew up on the north side of Chicago. My parents came. I was born in Nebraska, though. My
right.
parents came from Nigeria.
Now, what kind of shit is that?
It's called immigrant escaping.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
That's what it's
And
called.
they just came to America. They didn't know where to go.
Well, my father
obviously.
got a scholarship at this teacher's college in Nebraska, and so he went, and that's where I was born because there was a Biafra is a war that happened in the '60s, very famous in Nigeria,
Yes.
because it's an oil-rich country, and so my parents left because there was tribal wars. Of course, they had the tribes fighting while people were sucking the oil out, but they left. Boom. Long story short. I was raised in Chicago, though.
Right.
My sister was born there. She was born in Nigeria. My brother's born in Chicago, but we
Okay.
were raised in Chicago. Boom. All right. My father's a teacher now, educator for 45 years on the west side of Chicago. All that Chirac shit, my father's in the middle of all that. All that shit. Gangbangers, all. Yeah.
Copy.
Anyway, boom. So, of course, we all go to school. I go to college, graduate college. Graduate college was a psych major, pre-med psychology, man. I have my degree in psychology. So, boom. I said, man, you know what? I want to do this comedy thing, though. Because in college, I was real militant, man. You know who we brought over? I remember bringing over Sister Soldier. We brought over, I would go see Farrakhan.
Well, what school was this?
This is University of Illinois. Sorry, Champaign, Urbana, University of
I
Illinois.
feel like I've performed there. Did you bring Brand Nubian?
I remember
I feel
De
like
La,
I've definitely been there.
Tribe came, De La Soul came for Kappa Carnival. They all came through.
I'm sure Brand Nubian
You
came
probably
through.
came through there. So while I was in college, I was like, man, because we were militant, we had a little African American cultural center, and we were like, man, we want to start reading some. They're not really teaching us anything at the university, whatever. So we should just start doing shit on our own. So the university was telling us not to, but we went and bought books from black bookstores in Chicago, shit like that. We were getting it shipped to us. So we started having a we had a black reading book club.
Nice.
So we would read books every week. We finished them every week. So and it was like if you read 15 minutes every day for like 10 years is equivalent to a PhD. You know what I mean? So, and my boy Ray Westbrook used to say all that. I said, I believe it because I'm nasty with black history, and you are too, because that's all we studied.
Right.
So that kind of motivated me. I know people say, yo, why'd you do comedy? Well, because I'm funny. That's honestly not the reason why I started comedy. I knew I was funny, but I had shit to say. You know what I mean? I was so knowledged up. I would go see Farrakhan, and I would go to Savior's Day. I had Malcolm X, Farrakhan, had all the tapes in my dorm room. I would play Farrakhan, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, and my roommates were white. They were like, you can't be playing that. That's like really racist rhetoric. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up and stay on your own side of the damn room. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But
I was real Nigerian look.
Oh hell yeah! And I played
the fuck out of here.
And I played football in college. I was a wide receiver, but then I was still real militant, man. That being in because the college I went to, 45,000 students, only 800 black when I was there. So it was like all the black people were together. All the black fraternities and sororities were like that. Because I was a Delta Gent. That's like the sweetheart of the Delta Sigma Theta. So I was like into the black sororities and fraternities. We all stuck together. You know what I mean? So all of that anger I had, I was like, shit. If I could do comedy, I'll be able to sneak in messages while I'm on stage like Dick Gregory and Pryor and all them. I said, I want to be like those guys, because I would watch George Carlin, Dick Gregory. I watched, Joan. I watched the comedians that kept it real.
Right.
Like, right? Those, I didn't have an affinity towards there was some good, silly comics like Robin Williams, certain cats, but I always was like, Pryor, man, Carlin, man. Look at what they talking about. Yeah. Paul Mooney. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I remember, and what's funny is I met up with my ex-girlfriend from college like the other day, because we're just friends now. She has kids and all this other shit. And she remembered, she was the one that was the catalyst to me going to open mic. She was like, yo, she had a yellow piece of paper. I remember this shit. And she wrote down all the shit I was saying, because I used to take, you know how you just hold court in the cafeteria,
right.
talking about black issues, but you're funny with it.
Right.
I was talking about black issues and I'll be holding court. And she said, you need to start doing this. I wrote down all the shit you were saying. The shit you saying, no one's talking about.
So she gave you an outline of your material.
And I didn't know. She was just writing shit I was talking about. She goes, no one says this kind of shit. And that's one of the main reasons why I became a comedian, because I say things differently than everybody else. I just knew, because I started out the first time I was at this place called the Funny Firm Chicago. And then I was like, it was a mainstream room. And I said, man, I want to do some urban comedy. I want to do comedy I want to see black audiences. And they were like, you need to go to the South Side. South Side where? Yeah, South Side Mondays. This man named Bernie Mac. He has an open mic. I said, Bernie Mac? Who the fuck is that? He's on the South Side at the Cotton Club on 1600 South Wabash in Chicago. Now it's all condos now. And I said, okay, I'm going to go. So Monday came, and I went over, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go see some guy named Bernie Mac. And so I walk in, and I see, Bernie going, I'm motherfucker, shit. I'm sick and tired of being motherfucking sick and tired. I'm telling you that I was like, what the fuck is going on? He used to do this whole thing about drugs. He used to go through the ABCs. It was the ABCs of drugs. He'd be like, A, amphetamine. B, barbiturates. C, crack cocaine, motherfucker. D, he would do that. And so I was like, he had a towel, round glasses, dark skin, and he was murdering the room. And I was like, wow, this dude's funny as shit. And I remember I went up to him. He said, what's your name? I said, Godfrey, I'm here. I want to do the open mic. He said, okay, it's here Saturday, 8 o'clock. Let me tell you something. This is how Bernie was. You got 5 motherfucking minutes. If you go over, I'm going to play the music on your ass. Blah, blah, blah. I said, promise. Boom, boom. So I came back next week, and that's when I really started doing comedy. Me, Deion Cole from Blackish, Deion Cole. We started practically the same damn day, same week. Me, Deion Cole, Corey Holcomb. I brought Corey Holcomb to amateur night. He was working at a grocery store with my brother. And I said, Corey, You know Corey Holcomb? Mm-hmm. He was a phenomenal basketball player. Corey could jump out the gym. He's our height. He doing windmills. And I said, you need to do comedy, man. You're so fucked up like me, but in a different way. You know what I mean? You need to do, and I brought him. Yeah, so we all kind of started.
So how did you do your first time?
I did good. I was in a
And did you have organized jokes, or was this just
Nah.
a paper that this girl brought up and you just started talking about shit?
I didn't do it with that. I was in a comedy team. I almost forgot. My man, I was in a comedy team because I remember I was at a restaurant downtown. It was called Ed DeBevick's. I was at a restaurant downtown. I was with my man Alex. He's like 6'5". And he's like, I said, man, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about doing comedy, man. He goes, oh, man, you know, I tried that shit one time. I said, word? I said, shit, what is there an open mic around here? And he said, yeah, down the street, there's a place called the Funny Firm. It starts at 8, and it was 4 o'clock at the time. I said, shit,
I got 4 hours.
I said, I got 4 hours. So I was like this, yo, I got an idea. Why don't we do a team thing? That's what I said, because I said,
You can take the pressure off me.
Yeah, I said, there's not a lot of black comedy duos at all, because there was on Def Jam, Arsenal and Mitchell. You remember? I don't know if you remember Arsenal and Mitchell. If you look at Def Jam, look up Arsenal and Mitchell.
I remember Abbott and Costello.
Laurel and Hardy.
Tom and Jerry.
You know what I mean? Batman and motherfucking Robin. So I wrote some sketches. He said, yeah, let's try it. Fuck it. I said, we have 4 hours to make up shit. So I wrote some sketches. And then we went over to open mic, and we picked out a hat, you know, on what day I remember we were like 8th or 9th out of 12, and we went up, and the first joke I did, because I could imitate people, so I said, you're gonna be a hypnotist, and you don't know what you're doing up there, and so you're gonna be a hypnotist, and you're gonna hypnotize me into these different characters. And that was the first thing, and we destroyed the bitch. Like, they were like, because I sounded like, it wasn't super funny,
right?
But I was like, because they was like, and my partner, he was always high, and he's real mellow. So he's like, you know, I had some dreams, you know, the other day, and I dreamt that I ran into blah blah blah. Because I was like, you see, people, boom, kill. They were like, oh my god, he's so good. I was like, and then I said, I put the people in. And he's like, Richard Pryor, goddamn nigga, shit, boom, knocked it. Boom, he said Johnny Carson. I said Johnny Carson because it was an all-white crowd. I said, it's gonna fuck them up to see me do Johnny Carson. Wow. And I said, wow, I did not know that. Good stuff. I leveled the place.
So you did better than me my first time on stage. I forgot all my rhymes and ran off crying. Wait, I had all my homeboys, they were breakdancing, right? And I was supposed to be the surprise reveal.
Oh,
I was supposed to come out at the end and
Wait,
rhyme.
now how old are you at this time?
I'm 12.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to be the surprise reveal, and they do their breakdance, and they got their cardboard Run DMC going off, rock box, and then I come out on stage. I just looked at the crowd and was like, I just ran off the stage.
Hilarious. I'm glad at least you were 12. That's 12-year-old shit you do, like,
all the guys, and they felt so bad for me, but it was one guy that was mad as shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. He made me feel like
the whole shit up.
Fuck the shit up.
You suck.
Well, how did you get the courage though to come back? If I may.
You know what? And that was actually the start of a weekly talent show that we had in elementary school. I went back the next week, bodied it, and performed every week thereafter, and all the way until I graduated from middle school.
What gave you the? You see
The
what I'm
courage?
saying? Yes. Because you ran off crying. You wasn't scared. Hey, that's the girl from last week that ran off crying.
Oh, no.
Someone
You know
talk
what?
to you? Get a pep talk?
No, you know what it was? I was really serious about rhyming. I think once I got over that initial stage fright, because the rhyme was fierce. I was about to kill it.
Right.
I just like, it just completely left my head in that moment. But I knew my rhyme was serious. So once I got the courage to once I got that out of my system, I came back next week like
nice.
Motherfucking Incredible Hulk.
Many people fail on their way to success. Like, you got to take your failures and just be ready to say, you know what?
Real talk.
I learned from that shit. Now let's move on.
That's that, because it was funny, because when we got my first laugh, the first laugh made me more nervous, because I didn't know if this shit was gonna work. I remember walking up to the stage, I was shaking, literally like, wow, I'm nervous as fuck because I've never done this.
So
You know,
let me just ask you real quick.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Where most of us originally know you from is VH1. Yes.
Okay.
Is that where we first started seeing Godfrey on those?
VH1, the Talking Head shit. VH1,
Right.
That and 7-Up commercials.
Well, which came first? Was 7-Up before that?
It was around the same time because I remember 7-Up sponsored the MTV Awards. They sponsored this. Remember Spring Break? I did that
Yes.
2 years in a row. That shit was fire. That was when Carson Daly and I had met Missy Elliott. That's when everybody was in the pocket. All y'all were in the pocket, like And that was when 7-Up sponsored all that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Grammys, the 7-Up sponsored that. So I did after Orlando Jones, it was me. 7-Up.
Nice.
They say if you're gonna sell something, get yourself a captive audience. Oh, watch the sleeve. Okay, there you go. This place is gonna be a gold mine. I'm not picking that up.
Dude, yeah, and I remember I was in Spain.
That 7-Up check was nice.
It was dope. I was in Spain I was doing comedy in Amsterdam, right, with his brother named Tony Woods, who is one of the coldest comedians ever. Tony Woods, who basically took Dave Chappelle under his wing. That's why Dave is, if you see Tony Woods within Dave, the way he acts is the way Tony Wood, he got it from Tony Woods.
Okay.
But of course he became his own. Dave Chappelle became his own. But I remember I was there for like a week, 10 days in Amsterdam. And I remember I met these girls from Spain, and they say, hey, you should come visit us in Barcelona. So after I was done with my Amsterdam, I took a train to Spain. I'm hanging out, right? Boom, I'm on a nude beach. All these girls are naked around me. I'm not even lying. Chilling on the phone. Phone rings, say, hey, man, they need you to come back to America because they want you to audition for this soda commercial. I was like this. Nah, I'm good. I literally said that. They said, no. It's a short list. There's only like 3 or 4. It's only like a short list. I said, are you sure I'm not going to be in a room full of Negroes that look like me? You sure? Because I'm not coming back for that shit. And they were like, no.
I'm on the beach with a bunch of naked broads.
Yep.
Right
You.
now.
Bunch of naked Spanish girls just, boom, bien. I'm like, fuck. And so, boom, I said, all right. So I cut my trip short. I go out, come out, and then that's when I was doing the first reality show on Bravo. It was called The It Factor. Lisa Ray was on it.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner, but that was the LA version. We did the New York version where they follow us around, cameras, actors, boom, boom, boom. And that's when I was auditioning for 7-Up. And I got that shit. And it wasn't even planned. My agent called me. I'm walking on the street in one episode, and my agent's like, you got it? I was like, I got it? Oh, shit, I got it. Because I had auditioned and just beat everybody out.
So how the VH1 shit come about?
And
I feel like that's when you came on my radar. I feel like that's when I first saw you.
Here's how it happened. Because I get love from everyone. 7-Up, I remember you on this. It's a variety shit. So one day I was hosting the spring break shit, right? And in between it was me, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, Fat Joe. We're all just hanging on the side, and Carson Daly standing there, and in between there was all these kids, and they were just standing there, and nobody was getting them water, none of that shit. They were just standing there in the heat, like, and the breaks were like 10, 15 minutes. So I just took the mic and started telling jokes. I started talking about motherfuckers, telling jokes, and I was like, everyone was like, And Buster was like, yo, son, killed your son. You murdered that shit, son. You know, that's how I know Buster to this day. Buster be like, yo, what's up, son? I was like, I killed that shit. And then I was like, well, I used to I used to work for Cosby. Damn, I always leave shit out. My first job when I got here was working for Cosby after, you remember the other Cosby show with Dougie Doug?
Yes.
I was warming up for that for like 6 months. I did like, it was me. I'm warming up. I got to meet all kinds of people, but I worked for Cosby, and from there, when I worked for Cosby, I went from I got that. What was my point? I got that. I'm trying to
get to the VH1.
To the VH1. So watch. So now I do a 7-Up. I get that. So a guy comes from this backstage and goes, "Hey man, my name is something Fox. I can't remember." He says, "Yeah, we're starting to do these new VH1 things. We're starting to do these new." He goes, "How did you do that?" I said, "Well, I used to warm up for Cosby and Dan Aykroyd. You know, I did those warm up comedians. You got to sit there 8 hours. I would warm up the crowd for 8 hours.
Wow.
300 people in the Cosby thing, and you can't curse.
Wow.
You can't. Oh yeah, and I would have people actually like try to like heckle me, like really like. One time this lady was talking so
Get
much.
the fuck out of here!
Yeah, one time this lady was talking so much shit to me, and I'm a real comic, so I was gonna light her ass up. And I was like, I said, I think you need to chill out because we're on a family show and it's all mic'd. Dr. Cosby can hear you. She goes, you can't be heck. She's with her daughter, going, you ain't funny. I go, and I had this Hasidic Jewish dude stand up because a lot of the Hasids would come see me. He's like, I'm telling you, lady, he's good. I've seen him at night. He literally said, you need to keep quiet because he's a real comic. Cosby comes out from the back and hears all this. And he tells the lady, could you come here for a second? She comes down. She goes, is that your daughter? How old's your daughter? She's like 9 years old. He goes, you should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed of yourself right now. You know he's limited in what he can do. You're saying he's not funny and all this. He goes, he's actually really funny. It's just that he can't like insult you because it's a show and it's family show. So you're unfair. Now, if you were in a comedy club later on, I think he would handle you properly.
Right.
I even felt bad for her. He embarrassed the shit out of her.
He basically told her, we take it off of school property.
Right. You get your ass whooped.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, so from there, I learned how to warm up audiences. So that's when I did that for MTV. I just did it because it was like no one's.
Was it MTV or VH1?
It was VH1, but they were all, it worked. It's Viacom.
Okay.
So boom, he said, man, we got these VH1 things. There's talking heads. There's not a lot of money. I said, I don't give a shit. It's VH1. I just want to be seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I started doing I love the 80s. I love the 90s. I was doing the hip hop shit. That's when I met Rakim.
Right, I love the 80s, I love the 90s.
Man.
You see, that was a smart move. Because that was almost the beginning of where we're at today as far as like viral videos and just little vignettes and clips and shit like that.
VH1 set all that off. They even do it on the NFL Network. They do talking head shit. The top best catches, VH1 started all that shit. You know what I mean? And so I started bringing in some of my homies like, yo, you guys want some more comedians? I'm sure they're going to get tired of my ass.
Right.
I brought in some homies and then they started blowing up. 90s, 70s, hip hop, top. You know what I mean?
Dope.
And so that's when that started, the 7-Up thing. And then when I did Soul Plane, man. Soul Plane. Yeah, Soul Plane was when, I remember auditioning for Soul Plane. And it was at the time where there was no work. Black actors, nobody was getting shit. And I remember going to the dude that wrote the damn script. I went to his house.
Chuck Wilson.
Motherfucker.
I was going to say,
I was at
my
their
boy
crib.
wrote that fucking movie.
I was at the crib in LA, like chilling with these dudes that wrote. And I was like, and I didn't even think about it. Then months later, my agent goes, hey, Godfrey, I know, sounds kind of, it's going to be a little ghetto. But there's this script called Soul Plane. It's very ghetto because I like when my agents were honest with me and say it's ghetto as shit. And then I was like, fuck that. And I go, but Snoop Dogg is going to be the pilot. I said, wait a minute.
This might have some potential.
Shit. I said, Snoop?
You sit up in my chair a little bit.
Who doesn't want to be around Snoop Dogg? I said, shit. Everybody knows Snoop and he's international, right? So then I go in, and let me tell you, you know how people make fun of Soul Plane?
I was going to say that. People talk shit about that movie.
And their mama was at the Soul Plane audition. I saw everybody in that bitch going, I ain't got no weapons. Get the fuck out of here. If y'all know that reference from Hollywood Shuffle. I ain't got no weapons, nigga. Yeah, everybody was, because nobody was really working. It was just like.
One of my favorite lines from Kevin Hart is in that movie. Hello. I do that to this day. Hello.
Yo, that movie got trashed. Like, they act like it's one of the worst movies ever made, and it's like, come on.
Soul Plane was
like
not the worst.
white people have made way worse movies than that.
They continue to make shitty ass
was
comedy.
it the greatest? No, but the way they panned that movie, I think was a little unfair. I must say, and I felt bad for my man Chuck because damn, that was his first joint and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
And then they bootlegged it because you know how I found out they bootlegged it? I was in LA and this dude goes, "Hey man, you was funny in Soul Plane." I was like, "It's not out yet." "Oh yes, it is." And he drove off. And he drove off.
I just seen it.
And he said, it's crystal clear, too. Somebody, Jesse Terrero?
Yeah.
You know Jesse Terrero? He's a big video director. That was
Puerto
his
Rican
first.
director.
That was his first. And his brother, they're Dominican. His brother was the casting director.
Okay.
So when I walk into the room, right? It's packed. Everybody's waiting to audition. I said, I read the script. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be an African. They say, what? I'm gonna be African. I want to be an African. Name's Gaiman. Okay. I'm gonna be an African. Because everybody's doing the ghetto shit. I think if I become an African, it'll be a good bounce off with Snoop Dogg. Because African Americans and Africans are always battling with each other. So that concept, that black shit came out of me and said, that's funnier. When Africans make fun of African Americans and African Americans make fun of Africans, it's hilarious. So we need that dynamic. So they said, all right. So they sat back, and Jesse Terrell's brother's name, Ulysses, was sitting back going, and I know Ulysses, Ulysses like, yo, kill that shit, dog. He's supposed to be professional. He's like this, yeah, kill that shit. So I go in, oh, my name is Gay Man, not like two men fucking. I don't do that shit, And I got the part in the room. I had them niggas dying because I was just doing all kind of, and so they rewrote everything I say in Soul Plane is all my lines.
Dope.
I rewrote it.
That's dope.
And then Jesse said, just do your shit. And I had Snoop Dogg in tears every single day. And I remember the last day we finished, because, Snoop is, from our area. We were talking about Scooby-Doo. He was talking about how he disciplines his kids. We were just vibing. And then Bishop Don Juan comes on the set, Bishop Don Juan. And, I knew Bishop before Snoop, because Bishop used to be at the Cotton Club when I was an amateur. He was there every Monday with Bernie. And so
you are full of stories, bro.
Man,
I'm gonna have to stop you for a second because we are way over our time right now.
Sorry. My origins. I'm like,
Goodness
I was
gracious.
about to.
A lot of origins you got.
Connecting everything.
Hang on a second.
I was in Soul Plane.
We're gonna take a break.
Okay.
He was in Soul Plane. We're gonna take a break. Gay man, not like two men fucking.
Definitely
not like that.
On the plane will be pregnant.
By gay man.
By gay man.
So listen, when we come back, we're gonna do a little bit of rapid fire. Digga's gonna, she got some questions and shit for us, and we're
It's got some topics. I'm just
yeah,
gonna throw
similar
out
to
there.
like what we did on Vlad, and we're just gonna kind of like ping pong off each other and just see what's going on.
Okay.
Yanadameen Godcast.
So I'll finish the arrest
later. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. Two fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodg.com. Get yours today.